Greetings! Welcome to the devlog for experimental build 2 of update 114 of hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure speakers aren't up too high. And boom! Wonderful! So what have we got for you this week? Well, I've been working on some super secret things, but in the meantime, I decided to actually do a long requested thing that felt even more appropriate this month that I thought was going to be a small change and was not a small change. It in fact was a like, oh my goodness, how many systems do I have to touch change, which is giving you the ability to set custom overriding tracer colors. So let's pull ourselves out a good gun to test this with. It's the reason that I'm in a night scene here, is I just wanted something, you know, where we can really see the flash. You know what? I keep pulling it out. Let's see here. You know what? Actually, you know what? I want something higher capacity than this. Let's get ourselves a machine gun. I don't know. We haven't done an M249 in forever. So grab that. Put a belt on there. Actually, we're not going to load it up yet because we're going to override its contents. And I'm going to put a suppressor on this primarily so that we suppress the muzzle flash light and get an impact light instead. What do I mean by that? So H3 does a whole bunch of trickery to not implode performance-wise. Oops. And one of those things is that when you have a light flash from firing the gun, like this, we can see this as I accidentally pull one of those boxes towards me. Oop. There we go. I'm just fumble fingers today. We have the muzzle flash here from the round firing, but if that occurs in the same frame that, say, a tracer hits a surface, the muzzle flash overrides it, because it only draws one extra light per frame, as I said, performance reasons. If we put a suppressor on it, though, we are going to suppress the muzzle flash as well. Let's put some tracers in here, fill that up, which we're going to have to run that out for a moment. There we go. And you'll notice that in addition to the geometry of the tracer, which we see there, the sparks from the tracer, which we see at a distance there, we get a light flash. So this is why giving you custom tracer colors was such a pain, is that I had to override 3 different visual effects that were implemented at completely different times in the game's development, don't cross-communicate at all, and work quite differently. It was, well, I was able to do it really inefficiently, fairly easy, but then actually making it fairly efficient stunk. But either way, so we have this. If you go into firearms options, we've got a whole bunch of color options for you. You can just override them to a specific color. Honestly, I think orange ones just look absolutely sick, as do blue ones. Wonderful. And there are multi-tone ones, so we can get some Murica going with our tracers. How patriotic! Month early for 4th of July. It just looks so sweet. And of course, every color of the rainbow. Honestly, it feels a little bit like I'm in one of the many clubs from my 20s. So there you have it. That is in there. I was gonna originally try to make it so you could do completely custom inputs, but that was gonna be way too much UI work. So I hope this ends up being satisfying to you folks. Apologies if the color tones do not match exactly. It's actually really, really hard to tone match an emissive color, because this looks the way it does because it's a high dynamic range color. It's blooming past 1.0 in intensity, which means you get a perceptual hue shift when that color is tone mapped. So it was as close as I could get it. Actually, you know what? Let's actually pull out a minigun. I believe these are just all straight tracers. Ha! There we go. Party minigun. I love it. So there you have it. That is the main thing. Most of what I worked on this week was just like bug fixes and some stuff related to upcoming systems and levels. So I don't have a ton to show you this week, but I wanted to get this in here as well as a couple fixes for stuff that was broken last week related to various sorts of wrist tools and such like that.
Yo, haven't actually shown my face on devlog lately. Truth be told, it's mainly just been because I've been too lazy, and like when I've gone to film a devlog, I've just been like in complete goblin mode appearance wise. Not that I'm not in goblin mode appearance wise most of the time. But yeah, so anyway, I wanted to jump on camera just to talk about a little more about like what else is going on. Because obviously there hasn't been a whole bunch of stuff since the scope update. Part of it's been that I've just been super busy with just other life stuff and just working on some, let's just say, future project stuff, trying to get some things moving on that direction. But beyond that, I'm also working on a new level for the game that, especially based upon sort of like what folks liked and what worked well about the sand trap level. It's another outdoor space. It has some other humorous stuff that is going to be fulfilling a couple user requests that have been made in the past, but perhaps not the way that people think. I know that's super vague, but I don't want to spoil it too early because parts of the idea might change. But it's light, it's fun. It will make you laugh, I assure you. But yeah, that's the big thing right now, is that as I'm mainly just sort of like, we're working on a new level, and also, as I mentioned, there's some things I want to do involving the game's creation tools, both to make them work better, surface things more, and add more functionality to them. But instead of just sort of like recklessly diving in with those, I'm trying to sort of like plan things out a little more sanely, so that doesn't end up being a disaster once. Because the moment I hand them to you, folks are going to start saving things with them. They're going to start making cool creations. And I don't want to have to be like, sorry, I changed something about how it all works. I have to delete everything you made. So I don't want to get too, what's the term, ahead of my skis on that. But that is generally what is going on beyond that, and just, trying to enjoy the first part of my summer. So anywho, that is it for this week. As I said, super short devlog, super light little experimental build, but hopefully I'll have something a little more interesting for you folks next week, when I've had a little bit less of a crazy week as the one I had this week. So hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you soon. Peace.